Hey guys, welcome back to Just Off Broadway. Thanks for tuning in again. We're doing something so exciting and that everyone in New York City is trying to do, and we are doing it in 3 days.
I'm so excited, I can't stand it. I'm going to see Hamilton!
Woo! I mean, we've only had these tickets for months.
Yeah.
Today we have a very exciting guest for you.
Mary Kate!
She is a singer and songwriter, one of the coolest chicks that we know, and we're so excited to have her here.
Teddy agrees. New EP coming out that we have right here. It's called True Colors.
Speaking of true colors, what's your favorite color?
I really like purple. It's a happy color. It's like mysterious, cool.
My favorite color is blue. And bring in the surprise, because that's right, you guys. Get rid of the disguise, because here's the surprise.
She's here!
Oh, hey, make sure you guys check out that episode too.
Yeah.
But welcome Mary Kate to the Just Off
Hi.
Broadway set. Thank you so much for being here.
So happy to be here. You
Teddy
guys.
welcomes you too.
Tell us about your journey as an artist living in New York City. What has it been like?
A lot of people can relate to because I moved here about 6 years ago with the idea that I knew how I was going to work myself through the city. My journey in my art didn't start until about a year ago, a little over a year ago. And it took a very long time for me to come to terms that singing and writing music is what I'm supposed to be doing. Moving here, I got lost in so many people who are also lost souls. You know the struggles that you move here, you gotta work constantly, you can't really, at least for me, I couldn't work on what I wanted to do. I didn't even know how to do it here in New York City. 2 years into living in the city, I finally started a job where I met like-minded people who got me out and seeing New York the way I was supposed to be seeing it. It took one of my friend's performances where I watched them singing on stage and I really started to cry. And Josh was like, you know you're supposed to be doing this. So I do know. And now I'm gonna start crying. Meeting these people who I watched and I saw them start from scratch and like really pushing themselves through and being so proud to watch them be their friend. March last year, I just threw myself back into it. I contacted my old vocal coach and he was so happy that I contacted. Shout out to Brent Barlow.
Hey Brent!
Hey Brent!
He's amazing.
We will leave all of his information below if you guys are interested.
While working with him and getting my voice back on track and refiguring myself out, and he was helping me find my style again.
Something I'm really excited about your album, True Colors. I feel like just knowing you as a friend and just like already what you've been saying here, you have such a heart for people and just the way you talk about like community and how important that is, which I think is good for anyone who's thinking about pursuing things. It is so important with who you're surrounding yourself with. I'm so excited to hear all these songs because I hope that part of you translates in your music, because I think that is such a special and beautiful part of you, and I mean, how could it not? And I'm so excited for people to hear it.
My debut EP, it's my baby. I'm very proud of this. I worked very hard. I'm super excited to share it with everyone. I'm super excited to share it with you guys.
Can you tell us about some of the songs?
Everything on here except for 2, and I will be honest, I did write. When it comes to the songwriting process, the first few months was just I was writing a lot in my journals again. I was finally finding what I wanted to write about. My EP is called True Colors because I'm finally flying out with my own heart and saying what I've always wanted to say. This is just a glimpse as to what's coming in the future. Everything on here is very rock with a hint of folk, blues, and like a electric, like 80s, 70s vibe.
You were talking about how like sometimes you have to kind of like redefine who you are and keep reminding yourself who you are throughout life, and there are times when you have to keep saying like, no, this is who I am and this is what I want to do, and to like step out. And I love that you've done that and had the courage to do that. And
it took forever.
Yeah, it's hard.
It took forever. I was such
so cool.
a people pleaser. Very shy in school, didn't really talk out loud, didn't raise my hand a lot in class. When I was in any theater class or vocal classes that involved a lot of other people, that was when I was my most happy because I found my outlet. I knew from the start start. This is the crazy. I knew from the start this is where I was supposed to be and what I was supposed to be doing.
New York is a place unlike any other city where
Absolutely.
the ability to showcase art is so accessible.
Yeah.
So anyone that watches, you can do it.
You
can
can.
do it in this city. It is hard as hell, but I promise you can do it. You've heard it many times on this show.
Yes, and that's what makes you even stronger to be able to do it, because New York will push you.
I feel like when you're destined for something that you can try and move past it or be like, no, that's not what I'm supposed to do, but your destiny always comes out.
When you were recording this album, these songs, was there any part of the like recording, producing process that I didn't realize it was gonna be like that?
My producer as well is an amazing songwriter, and he had this one song, he's like, I really think you're going to kill it. Taking someone else's words and making it into something that I can familiar myself with and turn it into my story that I want to tell people. I thought it was going to be the most difficult song to put together. It took me weeks. I was playing with the melody, and as soon as I told Demetrius what I wanted to do, he's like, I love that, this is what it's going to be. And that sounds crazy.
Number 4.
That was number 4. I learned that you can write a song, hear it a certain way in your head. I wrote one song, I absolutely loved it. I convinced myself it was going to be my most favorite song to perform when I started to do my shows, and we recorded it, and I hated everything about it. And so that was the biggest one. I have the ability to write something that I think I'm absolutely going to do. It's going to speak to everybody, it's going to speak to me, and I'm going to love it so much, and then I hated it.
That's very, very crucial for any artist to understand and know that even though you're creating, you're not always going to love it, and that's okay, and you have not failed because you don't love it. You're not bad because you don't love it, you just don't love it.
With your EP, I know we've been talking about so many of the great songs, and it's probably really hard to pick a favorite. But do you have a favorite?
And I love all of your songs.
I was gonna say, I'm sure they're all like your babies.
I do. I love all of you. My favorite one is Father Knows Best.
Why?
It's a moment in time that I watched my husband go through a really hard time, and it was the first song that I had written that when I was telling my producer what I wanted it to sound like, I'm like, well, I've had this song written, I've had this written down for a long time, and I really want to do something with it, but I'm kind of scared to. It's really personal, guys. It's really personal. Like, I went into this going, I'm not going to be phony, and I want to be as honest as I possibly can without offending anyone, but still be true to myself and what I've known and what I've grown to see.
Can you tell us a little about that artwork?
Oh, one of my best friends in the whole wide world, Elisa Donuts, she drew this for me. She created it for me. I told her, I was like, I don't want to put my face on there. I don't want to have pictures. I love when I just want something really funky and cool. And I have so many artist friends. I'm like, I want to pay it forward. I want to get your stuff out. And she's amazing. She came up with this idea of me flying my heart with the exhaust being all the colors coming out and finally like pumping everything that I know to be true and what I want everyone to see.
We'll have links to all of that on here because this album artwork is sick. We all know it's tough, but we also know there's moments of like really like such beauty and like connectedness. And what is that for you?
Feel the most inspired when I am taking myself out for a walk. I have my headphones on, iPod's on shuffle, and a song come on and I can be somewhere. And for that moment, the song that I'm listening to will reflect where I am, and I immediately pull out my notebook and I just have to write down what I'm feeling in that moment because it's capturing, it's like being in your own movie soundtrack. In New York, because it's where all the artists are, and that's the biggest inspiration of all. It's knowing in this city you can meet anybody down the street that's doing something for themselves or for others, and they will give you some piece of advice and just strike up a random conversation with a stranger, and you never know where that's going to take your brain and what story will actually come out of it for you.
Just true beauty right here, people, inside and out. In New York, you're beautiful too,
beautiful,
damn it.
New York.
You smell weird, you're never on time, but you're beautiful.
You guys are amazing.
You are.
No.
You are. Yes, you are.
Okay, I'm amazing.
Yes. Yes. Own it.
We're gonna play a game right now.
Okay.
Say it with me. TTL. Say it again. TTL. One more time. TTL. Silence. Two truths and a lie.
I I did audition for an off-Broadway show, got a call back and told I was terrible just because my headshot was bad. Was an altar server in my church. Was a championship sailor at the yacht club in my hometown of Boston.
I will be so pissed if that champion sailor is a lie because I want that to be the truth. Pick the headshot, we'll split the difference.
Sure. Lord knows I can't make decisions.
I'm breaking your hearts. The third one was a lie.
If you guys want to pick up Mary Kate's album True Colors, it is available August 17th on Spotify, iTunes, and everywhere, anywhere music is played.
Make sure you follow Mary Kate on all social media platforms.
Yes, please.
Find her on SoundCloud. On her website, marykate.com.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
It's all about the journey. And thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Just Off Broadway. We will see you next week.
Yay! Bye!
I think my arm looks too dark.
Well, you're naturally darker than me.
I was putting it on airplane mode. I'm sorry. Oh my god. Toast down.
See your true colors shining through.
That's why I love you.
Anyway. Oh, good. Teddy!
So don't be afraid to let it show.